Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors like to bet on unknown but talented players. And many times, these players become important for the Warriors. Kevin Knox is the Warriors' new signing. The Golden State Warriors are determined to find new solutions to make a late-season push this 2024-25. Reeling from plenty of ups and downs, the Dubs made a move at the trade deadline, taking a swing for Jimmy Butler. And just a few days after, they also made a contract conversion for their intriguing rookie Quinton Post, who earned tons of praise from franchise superstar Stephen Curry. Despite doubts since then, the Golden State Warriors are still on track. With Butler showcasing his special skill set, the team established a 3-1 record over their past 4 games, which puts them in an advantageous spot to maintain their title hopes alive in post-All-Star break. And just recently, they landed another important move to kickstart the second half of the season by signing a former lottery sensation. Warriors land a 10-day deal with Kevin Knox. On February 19, the Warriors announced in a press release that they struck a temporary deal with Kevin Knox. As they are compelled to fill one of their several open roster spots, the Warriors easily identified the power forward as an ideal candidate, handing him a 10-day contract. Knox, who was drafted by the New York Knicks as the number 9 overall pick of the 2018 draft, has 6 seasons of experience already in the NBA while playing with 5 different ball clubs. He last played for the Detroit Pistons in 2023-24, averaging 7.2 points and 2.4 boards in 31 games. Knox dropped a major performance during his time for Warriors G League team. The 25-year-old was notably signed by the Dubs back in September, but was eventually waived ahead of the start of the season. Knox eventually joined Golden State's G League squad, the Santa Cruz Warriors. In the developmental league, he didn't disappoint in showcasing his talent as he is averaging 21.8 points, 8.0 rebounds, and 2.4 assists in 28 games. Wearing a Santa Cruz jersey provided Knox a remarkable performance that might have influenced Golden State to give him a 10-day deal. Last month, he exploded for a career-high 39 points to go with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal and 1 block while shooting 14 of 17 from the field, 6 of 7 from threes, to lead the Warriors' 61-30 victory over the Stockton Kings. Following his impressive show-off in Santa Cruz, Knox will attempt to convince Golden State that he deserves to be a part of their grand plans to compete for a title this year. Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Kuminga Puerto de Valter, Ma Steve Curtis K. Eli Sarabanco e Kuminga Neo Vificarnos Warriors. The Warriors closed out a stretch of 7 road games on Friday with a win against the Kings, moving the team to 29-27 and 4-1 since adding Jimmy Butler at the NBA trade deadline. Coach Steve Kerr also added that the team will soon be getting back forward Jonathan Kuminga, who has been out for more than 6 weeks with a severe ankle sprain. In 32 games this season, Kuminga had been averaging 16.8 points. His impending return will alter the Warriors' rotation, which seems to have found a rhythm with Butler's addition. Butler has been a plus 62 in the box score in his 5 games with the Warriors. Golden State has been using a starting 5 of veterans Stephen Curry, Draymond Green and Butler, with young wings Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody. The question was put to Kerr whether he would alter that when Kuminga returned. Kuminga had started just 10 games this season. J.K., Jonathan Kuminga, was coming off the bench before he got injured and he was playing really well. He was playing 30-plus minutes and we had that rotation before he got hurt, Kerr said. We're obviously playing well right now, hopefully that continues, but I'm never going to commit to anything because it's all dependent on how we're playing. If we keep playing like this, then we'll keep starting this way. The Warriors will get 2 home games, on Sunday against the Mavericks and on Tuesday against the Hornets, before hitting the road on another lengthy trip, 5 games through the Eastern Conference. Warriors set to continue Draymond Green risk that could backfire terribly. It's a risk they will probably have to take though. The Golden State Warriors will resume their season against the Sacramento Kings on Friday night, with the franchise looking to build on the momentum they built prior to the All-Star break. With Jonathan Kuminga nearing a return from injury, the Warriors are close to having a full complement of players available. That's going to leave some rotation and lineup questions for Steve Kerr, which will only become more critical as the fight for a playoff spot progresses. The Warriors are set to continue with a significant Draymond Green risk. Prior to the All-Star break and following the acquisition of Jimmy Butler, the Warriors reverted to going small with Draymond Green at the 5. The veteran started 2 of the last 3 games at center, with rookie big man Quinton Post limited to just 11 minutes per game during that period. With Kevin Looney averaging around 14 minutes off the bench, Green was left with around 22 minutes per game as the designated center. This represents Golden State's best lineup, but also comes with significant risk over the latter portion of the season. Playing Green at the 5 gives Steve Kerr immense flexibility on both ends of the floor. Having a lineup of Stephen Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, Butler, Green gives the Warriors their best combination of players who can dribble, pass, and shoot, all to varying degrees. Post has brought Golden State a whole new dynamic as a floor-spacing 7-footer, but the 24-year-old still has a way to go on the defensive side of the ball. Looney, on the other hand, doesn't give Kerr enough spacing when Green and Butler are also on the floor. As the Warriors look to desperately chase wins over the final 27 games, it's inevitable that Green will continue playing big minutes at center. That's only likely to ramp up even more once Kuminga returns from injury, with the potential that the 22-year-old even enters the starting lineup once he reintegrates and gets off a minutes restriction. Having Green log heavy minutes at center does risk wearing out the 4x All-Star though, particularly given he's just coming off injury where he played only 3 total minutes across an 11-game stretch in January. Asking Green to battle constantly on the interior against the league's best bigs likely enhances the possibility of injury. Needless to say, any significant absence for the former Defensive Player of the Year would be terrible for Golden State and significantly impact their hopes of making the playoffs. At the same time, not starting your best lineup or at least utilizing it for large periods also carries risk, particularly when the Warriors are in such a perilous situation record-wise. It's going to be a balancing act for Kerr to ensure his team makes the playoffs, while also having his best players, including Green, at a healthy enough point where they can actually make noise once there. Steve Kerr delivers bad news to Warriors rising star immediately after win. Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr's latest decision is bad news to soon-to-be restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. On Friday, February 21st, the Warriors continued their hot start with their new wing Jimmy Butler, giving the Sacramento Kings a royal beating 132-108. They improved to 4-1 with Butler and 2 games above .500 to climb to 9th seed in the Western Conference. The Warriors are just 2.5 games outside the top 6, which would give them an automatic playoff berth thanks to Butler fitting in seamlessly with their small ball starting group. Kerr liked what he saw from the current starting group of Stephen Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Butler, Moses Moody and Draymond Green so much that he's keeping them. "I imagine we will stay with this lineup," Kerr told reporters. "I hope so. Because we've had a million different starting lineups this year. It'd be really nice to stick with this for the rest of the season and keep building continuity with our lineups. As the adage says, why fix if ain't broke?" So where does this leave Kuminga, whose return from a significant ankle sprain is imminent? JK was coming off the bench before he got injured and was playing really well, playing 30-plus minutes, Kerr continued. "We had that rotation before he got hurt. We're playing well right now. Hopefully, that continues." I'm never going to commit to anything because it's dependent on how we're playing. But if we keep playing like this, we'll keep starting this way. While Kuminga might feel he's earned a starting spot with his next contract at stake, Kerr has a good reason to believe it's the right thing to do. In 10 starts this season, Kuminga averaged 16.8 points while shooting 45% overall and 31.8% of his threes with 4.5 rebounds and 1.9 assists. He's more efficient coming off the bench, averaging 16.7 points on 46.3% shooting and 36.3% from the three-point line, with 5.2 rebounds and 2.3 assists. Kerr doubled down on his decision to keep the current starting lineup, which could be seen as a knock on Kuminga's defense. I think it's the best two-way starting group we can put on the floor, Kerr said. You get Moses shooting, you get BP's playmaking to go with Steph and Jimmy. Then Draymond and Jimmy at the 5 and 4 defensively behind the play. We lack size, but we have a lot of brainpower back there. The Warriors announced late Wednesday, February 19, that their rising forward Jonathan Kuminga has returned to practice. Kuminga has been out since January 4 after suffering a significant sprained right ankle against the Memphis Grizzlies. According to the Warriors' medical update, Kuminga's return will be based on his continued progress and physical readiness. Kuminga's reintegration into the new-look Warriors will be one of the keys to their playoff push. His play and fit when he returns will be crucial also in the Warriors' looming decision this offseason. Kuminga was aiming for a $35 million annual salary during their failed extension talks in the offseason, Slater reported in the last offseason. That's a lot of money for a sixth man.